for staying with Republic TV viewers. I'm Priyanka Sharma and this is the Morning Express. Over the next 1 hour, we'll get you breaking updates from across the country and across the globe as well. But first up, the headlines at 8 a.m. Prime Minister raises India-China border dispute, stresses on the importance of the immediate resolution. Prime Minister leads BJP campaign from the forefront, big rallies and mega road shows in Uttarakhand today. Varanasi court to hear the Muslim side plea challenging prayers at the Gyanvapi complex. Now, viewers, we are getting some more breaking updates for you in the start of this hour, as the trouble does not seem to be ending for the Aam Aadmi Party government, as one after the other there have been a lot of arrests as well. Now, in the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's personal secretary, Bibhav Kumar, in fact, on the grounds of illegal appointment, has also been sacked, and the Vigilance Department has stated that the employment of the private person is temporary, and background check and his pending criminal check was also not done as well. So these are some of the updates that we're putting out. As far as the Delhi government is also concerned, trouble for which only seems to be mounting. Let's take a look at this report to understand that fully. In fact, before we play that out, let me also bring in my colleague Harsha, who's reporting on this story for us. Harsha, it's over to you, as we are also tracking the latest development as far as the Delhi government is concerned, where the trouble seems to be mounting for the government, as we already have the Chief Minister behind bars, and we are now looking at more and more of the ministers in trouble. Please take us through the latest as far as the investigation is also concerned.
So right now what we are learning is that the termination of engagement was sent by the Vigilance Department, because in the year 2020, the appointment of Bibhav Kumar as the co-terminus and the private secretary of Arvind Kejriwal was scrupulously, and also the antecedent of the verification of the documents was not followed. Let me tell you, none of the protocol during the appointment was followed. The verification was not done, the basic verification was not done, and in fact the documents were also not sought from Bibhav Kumar. He was appointed firstly on in the GDA on the basis as the co-terminus of the private, as a personal secretary of the Arvind Kejriwal, but after a year he was given the permanent designation of the secretary of Arvind Kejriwal, and his entire engagement and appointment was illegal, and that the Vigilance Department have now found. He was working under the salary of around 67,000, plus he was given 8,700 as the bonus amount, and also from 2022 till now he was working continuously with Arvind Kejriwal. He was not a government official, he was someone outsider for whom all the norms, protocols were changed by the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal himself. So we can see that how the protocols were completely not abided by Chief Minister himself, and this is the illegal appointment of Bibhav Kumar. And Bibhav Kumar was also one of the key person who is being looked into the Delhi now scam liquor policy. Arvind Kejriwal is already in jail. What we know, the entire matter is sub judice, but right now Bibhav Kumar has also been taken into custody, and also in the interrogation it came that how Vigilance Department found that how his engagement was done on the behest of Arvind Kejriwal himself. So trouble seems to be mounting not only for the ministers in the Kejriwal in the Aam Aadmi Party, but trouble also now keeps on mounting on the office bearers of Arvind Kejriwal as well. One after the other, the appointment letters and appointment verification antecedents of the private secretary, personal secretary is being looked into, because none of the norms was followed. Back to you.
Well, that's right, Harsha. Of course, these are developing updates that we will keep coming back to you for more and more on this. For the moment, thank you for joining us. Now, in fact, viewers, shifting our focus to what's happening with the New York-based Newsweek magazine, where in fact on the cover of which the Prime Minister Modi is set to become the first Prime Minister since Indira Gandhi had been featured, now making Prime Minister Narendra Modi the first Indian Prime Minister on the magazine's cover over the last 68 years as well. Here's a report to understand all that's happening with it.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to be featured on the cover of New York-based Newsweek magazine after he gave an interview to the media outfit. With this, Prime Minister Modi would become the first Indian Prime Minister to feature on Newsweek's cover since former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, who featured on the magazine's cover in April 1966 issue. During his interview, Prime Minister Modi touched upon various issues of significance, including relations with China, India's role in the Quad, abrogation of Article 370, and inauguration of the Ram Temple. On China, the Prime Minister said that he believes in the urgent need to address the abnormal border situation and bilateral relations with China. He added that stable and peaceful relations between India and China are important, not just for the two nations, but for the entire region at large and the world. He further went on to reiterate that India's participation in Quad grouping is not aimed against any country, but it is just a forum of like-minded nations working on a shared positive agenda. Adding that it is no different from other international groupings like the Shanghai Cooperative Organization or BRICS. Giving a rebuttal to criticism over abrogation of Article 370, Prime Minister Modi encouraged Newsweek's team to visit Jammu and Kashmir firsthand and witness the positive changes on the ground. PM Modi highlighted how the valley is reaping with peace, with over 21 million tourists visiting the northern state in 2023, coinciding with a significant decline in terror incidents. Expressing his thoughts on the construction of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya, PM termed the inauguration a historic moment of unity for the entire nation. PM Modi added that the temple represents centuries of perseverance and sacrifice of over 1.4 billion people who have patiently waited for Ram Lala's return. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, viewers, we are keeping you ahead on all that is happening with the Gyanvapi dispute. In fact, Varanasi court is all set to hear a plea in the Gyanvapi case where it has been made by the Hindu side asking for stopping of movement over the southern cellar of the Gyanvapi complex, which is also known as Vyasji Ka Tehkana. In fact, they have also stated that movement for going inside and offering namaz over that roof can be will harm the structural integrity of the monument as well. Here's a report to understand all that is happening with that entire case.
The Varanasi District Court is all set to hear a plea on Gyanvapi today. The plea wants to stop Muslim devotees from walking on top of Gyanvapi's southern cellar, also known as Vyasji Ka Tehkana, where the courts have allowed the Hindu side to offer prayers. The court had set a date on April 11th, considering the month of Ramadan, to allow time to both sides to present their arguments. The Hindu side argues that the roof of Vyas Tehkana is very old and weak, with pillars of the basement needing urgent repairs. The fresh plea was filed in Varanasi court days after the Allahabad High Court permitted the Hindu side to continue offering prayers in the Vyas Tehkana at Gyanvapi. The Hindu side is now arguing that Muslim devotees walking or offering namaz on top of the cellar is not good for the old structure. The prayers in Vyas Tehkana once again commenced after the district court ruled in favor of prayers to resume on January 31st earlier this year. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Moving on to some news in brief, Tesla chief Elon Musk will visit India this month to meet with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. According to sources, Elon Musk is expected to make an announcement related to his plans to open a new factory in India. Elon Musk will meet with the Prime Minister in the week of April in New Delhi and will separately make an announcement about his plans in India. In June last year, Musk had met with Modi during the Prime Minister's US visit. Haryana CM Nayab Singh Saini addressed an election rally in support of Baba Balak Nath. He also slammed the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi during the rally.
आजकल बोलते हैं कि इन्होंने मैनिफेस्टो निकाला कि हम न्याय देंगे। अरे 55 साल तक देश के ऊपर शासन करते रहे, 55 साल के अंदर तो न्याय किया नहीं। आज न्याय की बात करते हैं।
Former Deputy Chief Minister of Haryana Dushyant Singh Chautala commented on JJP Haryana President Nishant Singh's resignation and said that election season is approaching and many people will come and go. He added that he wishes him good luck for the future.
मेरे पास कल देर रात निशांत सिंह जी के इस्तीफे की डिजिटल कॉपी मिली है। राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष उसको आगे स्वीकारते हैं, क्या कदम उठाते हैं वो तो उनका निर्णय होगा, क्योंकि उनके नाम एड्रेस। मैं तो इतना कह सकता हूं, उनके भविष्य के लिए उनको शुभकामनाएं।
After being questioned by the ED, Congress leader Amba Prasad said that she is not being asked very particular questions. She added that she has requested for some time till Ram Navami as she is busy with the celebrations.
बस जो भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है उस पर सहयोग करेंगे। जब बुलाया जा रहा है तो जा ही रहे हैं। अभी सबसे बड़ा दुख का बात है कि फेस्टिवल का समय, हम लोग कोई भी फेस्टिवल अपने क्षेत्र में बहुत ही धूमधाम से मनाया करते थे हर साल, पर इस बार मेरे क्षेत्र में
BJP candidate from Hyderabad constituency Madhvi Latha said that the party held a meet and it saw the attendance of all levels of the party workers in the state. She added that the BJP will definitely win in Hyderabad.
यहाँ पर ये एग्जीबिशन ग्राउंड्स में हैदराबाद लोकसभा कार्यकर्ता का सम्मेलन का कार्यक्रम हुआ है। यहाँ जिस प्रकार से आप देख रहे हैं, जिस जोश से हमारे सारे कार्यकर्ता आए हुए हैं, अब की बार हैदराबाद हम दिखा के ही रहेंगे। जिस दलदल में आ सकते हैं वहाँ से निकलकर एक भाग्य की तरफ आगे बढ़ना चाहिए।
The Varanasi District Court has scheduled a hearing today regarding plea aiming to prevent Muslim devotees from walking on top of the Gyanvapi Mosque's southern cellar, where the court recently allowed Hindus to offer prayers. According to the counsel representing the Hindu side, the Muslim side informed the district judge that they were fasting due to the month of Ramzan, and as a result, they requested additional time to present their arguments. On this, the Varanasi court rescheduled the hearing and fixed it for today. Security has been heightened in the national capital in view of the Eid ul-Fitr. Areas like Jama Masjid, where large crowds gather for the festival, have been provided more security by the police. Viewers, while a thriving stock market leads to lesser gold prices, but we are looking at inflation in the gold prices as well, and in the overall record high that it has reached in the global market as well. This is the reason that is being given to the US rate cuts, also as the volatile geopolitical situation across the globe as well. Let's take a look at this report to understand what's happening with it.
The case of gold prices surging despite a roaring stock market rally has sparked attention. While traditionally gold and stocks have shared an inverse relationship, recent months have defied the norm. Major drivers behind this surge seem to be rate cuts by the US Federal Reserve, geopolitical tensions that currently grip the world, and the weakening Indian rupee. It is also believed that with India approaching a general election year, economic and political uncertainties are on the rise, prompting investors to hedge their bets by investing in gold. No more in this explainer.
So why is the price of gold rising despite stock market rally? Traditionally, gold and stock markets exhibit an inverse relationship. When the stock market performs poorly, gold markets tend to rise, acting as a hedge against inflation and economic uncertainty. However, in recent years, we have witnessed a peculiar phenomenon. Gold prices are skyrocketing even as the stock market enjoys a record-breaking rally. Let's delve into the reasons behind this seemingly contradictory trend. Number 1 reason: expectation of US Fed rate cuts. Financial markets anticipate the US Federal Reserve to implement rate cuts in the coming quarters. This anticipation weakens the US dollar and makes gold a more attractive investment. Lower interest rates decrease the opportunity cost of holding non-interest bearing assets like gold, leading to increased demand and a price hike. Number 2, aggressive gold accumulation by China. China's central bank has been aggressively accumulating gold reserves in recent years, aiming to diversify its holdings and reduce dependence on the US dollar.
In today's market update, gold prices witnessed decent gains in domestic futures trading, tracking positive global cues. MCX Gold for June delivery traded 0.4% higher at 71,652 rupees per 10 grams, reflecting the ongoing bullish sentiment. On Tuesday, gold prices hit a record high in international markets. Even silver prices surged to 3-year peaks. Experts believe changes in global geopolitics and trade dynamics, combined with worries about US fiscal profligacy, may be driving the current rise in gold price. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, viewers, the United States Labor Department has finally released its much-awaited inflation data, and while investors globally had been waiting for this data to actually come out, we are looking at how global markets, in fact, have also soared in the last week in anticipation of the potential rate cuts by the Federal Reserve after its meeting in June as well. Here's a report, a complete understanding of what is happening with that.
After the much-awaited inflation data in the US was released by the Labor Department, the numbers are much higher than anticipated. Driven mostly by petrol prices and shelter costs, US Consumer Price Index rose 0.4% sequentially in March 2024, a number higher than Wall Street estimates. The data has pushed away hopes of investors who ever anticipated a rate cut from the US Federal Reserve after its meeting scheduled in June. In the last 12 months, the Consumer Price Index has increased by 3.5% year-on-year, with March 24th data marking the biggest gain in 6 months since September 2023. As per the Labor Department, shelter and petrol prices accounted for more than half the increase in the Consumer Price Index. While gas prices surged by 1.7% and clothing at 0.7% from February, auto insurance has jumped up by 22% compared to last year. On the other hand, shelter costs rose up by 0.4%, while grocery food inflation remained unchanged at 2.2%. While Federal Reserve had set a target of inflation at 2%, this is the third straight month where inflation readings are above the target. This has cast a huge shadow on the prospects of a potential rate cut from the Federal Reserve, further being pushed down to September. So far, the central bank has kept its policy rate between 5.25 and 5.50% since July 2023, which in fact is at a 23-year high in an attempt to control inflation and bring it closer to the 2% target. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Moving on to some news in brief from across the globe, President Joe Biden says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is not doing enough to increase the humanitarian aid into Gaza. During a press conference alongside Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, Biden in fact emphasized the urgency of the situation, highlighting that in the past 3 days, more than 100 trucks have been delivered, yet stressing the need for a greater quantity to address the issue effectively. Members of the Siberian Battalion of Ukrainians Armed Forces held a training session in the Kiev region. The Siberian Battalion is a unit made up of Russians who have joined the Ukrainian military tanks to fight against their homeland. A Russian assault hit a grocery store and a pharmacy in the Ukrainian village near the Russian border, resulting in 3 fatalities, including a 14-year-old girl, according to the authorities. The attack, which occurred in Liptsy, approximately 10 kilometers from the border, had also left a 16-year-old boy and a woman injured, officials stated from the northeastern Kharkiv region. European Union lawmakers endorsed a significant overhaul of the bloc's migration laws, aiming to resolve the years of disagreement on handling the entry of the unauthorized migrants and diminish their far right's leverage as a vote-winning campaign topic ahead of the June elections. In a series of 10 votes, members of the European Parliament endorsed the regulations and policies that make up the Pact on Migration and Asylum. A festive gathering marking the end of Ramadan turned chaotic in Philadelphia when opposing factions exchanged gunfire. The incident resulted in at least 3 injuries and prompted hundreds of parents and children to flee in search of safety. The annual Eid al-Fitr event held outside of the large mosque in city's Parkside neighborhood came to a sudden end when some 30 shots rang out about 2:30 p.m. Guatemala's president issued a natural disaster declaration Wednesday as 44 forest fires continued to burn across the Central American country. President, in fact, had stated that 80% of the fires were started by people. Slipping into a very short break here now, viewers. On the other side, we get you details of the US President Joe Biden, who had hosted the Japanese Prime Minister at the White House. The two leaders had discussed bilateral ties. And heavy floods have paralyzed parts of Kazakhstan. Authorities have blown dams to ease the situation.